Hi, welcome to Vicky Makes and Builds. Right, so I have something a little bit different for you today. This video is what I hope will be the first of many, let's call them live stream summary videos. This will be for puzzles of probably 5K or larger that I have built over the course of several live streams. The aim is to condense the overall build down into something a little bit more like my normal videos, but cutting out all the chat, speeding up a lot of the build footage, including any update videos that I made along the way, and isolating any time that I talk about my strategy, my sorting, and how I come to certain decisions about the build. I had been intending to do this for my 5K Pokemon Allstars puzzle that I built earlier this year, but before I got around to it, I was asked by Kinga, one of my members who you might know as Massat, if she could try her hand at editing the video for this. I said yes, and I gave her free rein to pick out the music, the relevant discussions, and add in anything else that she thought would make a great video. And in my honest opinion, I think she's done an amazing job. The only part I edited was a short reel, which has been added to the end of all of your pictures from the puzzle along. So stay tuned for that if you want to see your own pictures that you have sent me. And one thing to also stay tuned for is the summary of statistics that Kinga worked out from all the live streams. Now, I do not know how long that took you to do, but that would have taken me ages, but they are so great, and I know that you are all going to enjoy seeing those as well, so stay tuned for those at the end. The only thing I would say just now is that the odd bit of footage in this video is a little blurry. This was in the early days of my live streaming, so it didn't always come over that focused. There isn't very much of it. However, what there is, I have tried to isolate and sharpen up a little bit. There may be a slight lack of consistency in sort of lighting as well, because we've been working with like 15 live streams worth of footage as well as update videos. So it's not all one piece of seamless footage, it's a lot of pieces of footage patchworked together. So I've done my best to sharpen up bits that needed sharpening, adjust any lighting that might need adjusting. But apart from that, I really think that you'll enjoy this. I hope that you do. So it just leaves me to thank Kinga so much for all the work you've put into this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you will enjoy. So let's go. So today's an exciting one because I'm doing a 5,000 piece puzzle on the live stream. I'm quite nervous about it, if I'm honest, but I think if any puzzle is good for live streaming, it's this one. So, of course, the one I'm talking about is the Ravensburger 5,000 piece Pokemon, I think it's called Pokemon Allstars. That's the official title. And here I have the poster. Now, I could have the box lid, but to be honest, I find the poster much easier to follow. The box lids on a 5,000 piece Ravensburger, I think they're quite small. Actually, I think that the image is quite small. What I decided to do was do like a phased sort, just like I did on the Bizarre Town puzzle. Now, I don't know if any of you saw my video on the Bizarre Town puzzle. That's also 5,000 pieces, the Colin Thompson puzzle by Ravensburger. So I'm going to talk a little bit about sorting. I will show you my sorted piles in a minute, but I want to have a bit of a conversation about this, because one of the purposes of doing a large piece count puzzle live is that you get to hear my strategies and listen to me kind of talking through my thought processes and stuff in real time. And a lot of people ask me about how I sort puzzles. Phased sorting, as I was talking about, the type of sorting I did in the Bizarre Town puzzle. What I mean by that is that rather than going through every piece and sorting every piece into a pile, whether it be, a specific color or a texture or just a miscellaneous pile, rather than doing that kind of right from the start, what I do instead with phased sorting is I go through every piece and I just pick just a few things to focus on. So that's what I decided to do with this. Now, I probably could quite easily sort this because it's in very defined sections and they're all color coded according to the Pokemon type. So you've got red for fire and yellow for electric types and green for plant-based Pokemons. It's obvious how you sort this puzzle, but as I said, because I'm live streaming this, I've got to take a slightly different approach with it because otherwise I'm going to have piles of pieces that are just sitting there and liable to be, kicked or shuffled about or something while they're waiting for the next live stream. So what I've done is I have gone through every single piece and I have taken out all pieces that go in this section here, which is the green section. And every other piece, apart from edges, I did separate the edges, every other piece has just gone back in the box and it's just a mishmash of the remaining pieces. None of the other pieces are sorted apart from the edges. I did separate those. The reason I decided to go for green first, in case you're wondering, is that I had a look at the whole thing and I was undecided to start with about which one to go for first. I figured I would start with one of the slightly smaller sections because they're all equal size. The red one's quite big, the blue one's fairly big. These two in the middle aren't too bad, but what I also noticed was certain sections have Pokemon of different colours in. So, like, for the most part, the red section has red, orange, and yellow Pokemon. So that's fine. But this section down here, this pink section, has a lot of yellow Pokemon in it. And I felt like there would be confusion if I started with this section. I felt like I'd end up with a lot of these pieces in there. And I just kind of thought, I'd rather go for one where the colour is mostly the colour of, the Pokemon. So there's mostly greenish blue Pokemon in here. We do have a yellow one. We do have a purple one. But they're relatively small, and there actually aren't that many Pokemon in this section. It's a fairly small section. It's in the corner, so I've actually got the edges for this section sorted out as well, so I can build out from a corner. And I just felt like there'd be less missorting and confusion if I started with this section. So that was my thinking behind that.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what.
Here are my sorted piles for the green section. This pile here is this little Pokemon here. This is Oddish, little blue Pokemon, and he's got green leaves coming out of the top of his head. This pile here is this little guy here. It looks a bit like a crab with two toadstools on his head, and he's called Paris. Then we've got this pile here of yellow pieces is this Pokemon here, and this one is called Victory Bell. This pile here, it's purple pieces, and that is this guy here, the one that looks a bit like a brain. He's called Tangela. Then this pile here is pink pieces and well, also brown, because there's a little bit of brown on Venusaur's back here. The pink pieces are the mouths of this guy here, that's Venusaur, and this guy here, that's Ivysaur. And then on their backs, they've got like a flower, and it's this pink colour. So that's that pile there. Then we've got this pile here, which is kind of bluey greenish pieces, and they are Ivysaur, Venusaur, and Bulbasaur, who is this guy up here. They're all the same kind of colour. Then this pile is the edge pieces for just this section. And then this pile here is basically all the rest of the green pieces. Now, a lot of those are background. Some of these pieces aren't background. Some of them are just the various leaves on these Pokemon. So there's leaves on the back of Ivysaur here. There's leaves on the back of Venusaur. There's a big green bulb on the back of Bulbasaur. You've got leaves on Victreebel, leaves on Oddish. So this is all of that green, all of that other green. So I could have sorted this better and been a bit more detailed, but I was a bit lazy and I just kind of chucked them all in one pile. So this pile's going to be probably the one I do last and the one that takes the longest. So that's it. They're my sorted piles. I am under no illusions that there will be missorts. There will be pieces in here that do not belong to this section. The way I kind of figured it was, I would rather have the wrong pieces in here than not enough pieces in here, if you see what I mean. I'd rather it be as complete as it can be and have a few left over than just really gappy, if that makes sense. Without further ado, I shall start puzzling.
Why you never said you felt that way? Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby, have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away.
Started to do is sort them down a little further. So I do have a pile there of green pieces with blue in. So these will be outlines of these Pokemon. Then they're just all the rest of the blue pieces. There's some pieces with pink still in them, although I suspect that one doesn't go in this section. That looks like part of the grey section. And there's some pieces with like vines on, because a few of these Pokemon have vines. I'll show you, like Bulbasaur and Victreebel here. So they're quite obvious they stood out because they're kind of a brownish colour. So I think what I'll probably do is I'll cover those piles first, these smaller ones with pink, ones with the vines, then maybe move over to those before I kind of fill out the bulk of these three. Ivysaur, Venusaur and Bulbasaur. So we're just going to get on with that just now.
My mind overwhelms. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel far more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Okay, so this is as much as I'm going to do off the live stream. I have filled out most of Venusaur, Bulbasaur, and Ivysaur. What I also decided to do was try and get in these transition pieces between green and the neighbouring sections. So I've got kind of an outline now. It's really kind of got a structure to it now. There are some gaps because I haven't filled in all of the pieces yet. Over here, we've got the remaining ones that I sorted, and these will all be background and leaves. So if we look a little bit closely, these should fill in all of this above Victreebel's head, this here, the wee gaps where Bulbasaur is, and some of these leaves where Venusaur is. So the gaps that I will have remaining in this section, once I've done all the pieces I sorted, will be these purple pieces that make up Tangela, some of these pinks that I just haven't managed to find, a little bit of orange in the middle of Paris, there's a blue one there in Oddish. This area of Victreebel is mostly black, but I think when I go through the pieces again to sort out the next section, which I have decided is going to be the grey section, when I go through all the pieces again to find those pieces, I believe I will be able to identify some of the missing pieces from this. So I might find some purple ones that belong to Tangela. I might find some black ones here that belong to Victreebel. I think that more puzzle I do, the more likely I'll be able to identify some of the missing pieces from this section. So for my next live stream, I'll be filling out the rest of these green pieces and pretty much finishing off this section as much as I can. If I have any pieces that I have identified in my second sort, I will fill out those gaps as well. And then it will be moving on to the grey section. I will leave it there. This is as far as I'm going until the next live stream. I will sort the next section of pieces out, but I'll show you how I've done that nearer the time. But this is as far as I'm going to go, building-wise. I've done my second phase of sorting, and during that second phase of sorting, I found a whole bunch of pieces that I'd missed the first time around. So what I'll do is I'll fill in some gaps with those, and I'll fill in the rest of the gaps with these green pieces. And then once I've done as much of this as I can, I'm going to move on to the grey section. This is the section I've decided to do after I've done the grass type section. So the grass type one's here, and the grey section here is right above it, and these are the normal type Pokemon. Well, actually, I'm excited because my favourite Pokemon is in this section. Astronomy, Jigglypuff. Oh, yeah, Jigglypuff's my favourite. I love Jigglypuff. Well done. Good guess. So there's a bit of a mishmash of pieces here, but any that I recognised, I just grabbed. Like, I found some black pieces, and there aren't actually that many areas on this puzzle where there's just complete kind of blackness. It's a really bright puzzle. But we do have this black mouth on Victreebel, and we've also got quite a lot of black around the eyes of Tangela here. So I was able to find some of Tangela. I've also found a few, I think, of Venusaur here, and just whatever I could find, or even if I suspected it went here, I put it to one side. So I'm going to start filling in the gap.
Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky.
Okay, that is all the pieces I had separated into the green section. So the background is all done. I've got 4 pieces missing from Tangela. Filled him out a lot actually with that second round of sorting. One piece, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces missing from Victory Bell. 2 from Paras, Oddish is done, Bulbasaur's done, Ivysaur's done. Venusaur's quite big in this section, so there's 4 pieces in the flower and then a couple of pieces in the mouth and body. But I'd say that's pretty good going. There's not much left to go in there, is there? So that's great! Yay! Grass type section looking good. So the green now is going to be placed under this ready to go foam board that was underneath. Just gonna look, see, glimpse of the dragon puzzle. Woohoo! There we go. Clean slate. Looks like I've done nothing. The grey section's right above the green. Here are my sorted piles. There's some quite big Pokemon in this section. Like, obviously, Venusaur is pretty big. The rest are all sort of not too bad. But you've got this one here, like, that one's big. Pidgeot's big. Snorlax is big. Right, so here's how I've done it. These pieces here belong to Pidgeot. That's this Pokemon that is a bird. Those pieces, little tiny pile there, belong to this purple blob here, which is called Ditto. Then this pile here is Meowth. Meowth might be known to some people who don't know Pokemon as well. Meowth's pretty much every episode, I think. That's this guy here, the one that looks like a cat. This pile here that you can't see because I'm in the way, that one. This Pokemon with the big long tongue, and that's called Licky Tongue, which just sounds about right. Then this pile here, Jigglypuff, my favourite. This pile here is Eevee, which is this little one here. Looks a bit like a fox. This pile here, this one, and this one's called Tauros. It's like a bull, looks a bit like a bull. This pile here, now a lot of these pieces I had sorted into the grass type pile because they are pink and blue, and I thought they belonged to either Ivysaur or Venusaur. But actually, there's a Pokemon here called Porygon. He's pink and blue, and they actually belonged to that one. So I put them to one side, and the pile was already pretty big. I've added a couple to it since I've done the sort. But anyway, that's pile is this one here. This pile isn't a specific Pokemon. It's a specific colour, and it's all these light, kind of creamy coloured pieces. Don't know if you can see that. And the reason I separated those, I know some of them aren't going to go in here. There are a lot of Pokemon with these creamy coloured pieces, especially in the fire type section. Like this one here with the big floofy tail, it's kind of creamy coloured. You've got this guy here, his front is sort of beigey, creamy coloured, same with this one. There's also a lot of that colour in Snorlax. I just chucked all of that colour into this pile, or mostly that colour, and I think a lot of them will belong to Snorlax, but probably won't as well. So that one's potentially mis-sorted quite a lot, but there will be some in here that belong in this section. These ones are background pieces. So the grey background, which has like spots, and then this pile here is Snorlax, who was pretty easy to identify. He's quite big. And that is it. That is how I have sorted it. It was harder to do than the green section. The reason it was more difficult to sort was because Pidgeot, for example, is kind of yellow and brown, but also got a little bit of red. And there's a lot of yellow Pokemon. I'm convinced there will be some gaps in Pidgeot. Then you've got Licky Tongue, who, is pink. There's a few pink ones scattered around as well. I think I've mostly got that one, but might not have all of that one. Jigglypuff was quite easy because of his big green eyes, and he's a brighter pink than Licky Tongue. Meowth was fairly easy. Meowth is small, so there are not many of his pieces, but you could kind of tell him because either there was grey in the background, there weren't really pieces of him where it was the whole thing was just Meowth. Snorlax is pretty obvious because of this shade of grey that he is. There aren't many other Pokemon that shade of colour. Also, where the grey meets the creamy colour, that was kind of obvious. The food in his hand. Eevee and Tauros were a bit more difficult because they are a very similar shade of brown, and there are brown Pokemon in here. There's some similar shades of Pokemon in the fire bit, so not certain about Tauros how well I've sorted him. I don't know, it's just the mixture of different colours of these Pokemon that was just made it a little bit more tricky to sort. But I've done the best I can. I would start with the smaller piles.
Like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know.
Okay, so this is what I've managed to get done. In readiness for this stream, I did another phase of sorting and I sorted out all of the blue section, or at least as much as I think I can find. Because I'd done another phase of sorting, I had found more pieces that I was missing from this, and I also found some pieces that I think I have been missing from the grey section, which is still ongoing. I will get these filled out and then we can move on to the grey section and I can continue on.
Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all around.
Venusaur and Tangler, they're the only ones missing pieces. Hopefully I'll find them in the next round of sorting. I will move the boards. So this is the green bit now going underneath, and this is the grey bit.
Here we go, you could take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going 29 and I find myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe.
So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave it there live stream wise. Off the camera, I'm going to put these pieces in as much as I can. There's just a few grey background pieces left that I think and hope I can maybe pop in somewhere. And I'll fill in Snorlax's belly.
It's true, I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is it happening?
As you can see here, I'm working on the blue section today. I do think that I might possibly have a few pieces in my sorted piles from the green and the grey section, but not many. But if I find them, I'll definitely put them to one side so I can fill those in. I've got a lot of sorted piles for this. There seems to be quite a lot of Pokemon jammed into this section. These are the edge pieces from this section. So this section's in the top left corner. So it takes up, there's quite a lot of edge in this one, unlike in the grey one. So there are the edge pieces from this particular section. This one here, this brown pile here, is this Pokemon here, which is called Kinga. There may be a bit of overlap here, may have some from the brown section. There's a few brown Pokemon in the brown section, but I think I've mostly got Kinga in there. This pile is this Pokemon here, which is called Gyarados. And actually, Gyarados is partially built because there's his mouth right there. And the reason I've got quite a lot of his mouth built up is because I had a lot of these pink pieces sorted out when I was doing I think it was the grey section. This is background pieces, so all the blue background and any of this kind of jaggedy edge as well. I think this pile might be quite heavily mis-sorted. I am certain that some of the pieces in here are correct, but I'm also certain that some of them go in other parts of the puzzle. But I always err on the side of caution with this puzzle, because what I don't want at the end is gaps, or not many, if I can avoid it. So if I'm not sure, I chuck them in anyway. But this pile here is this Pokemon here that looks like a seal, and this one's called Dugong. So that's that box. Then here we have, this pile here is easy peasy. It's the only yellow pile really, and that is Psyduck. This pile here was pretty easy to spot. You've got Poliwag in here. So that's this guy with the big spiral on his tummy. This pile here in the top right is Squirtle, which is this little cute turtle looking thing here. And the one next to him is, I believe, an evolved version of Squirtle. That's Wartortle, which is him. And then we have the evolved version of him, which is this guy, Blastoise, and that is this giant pile here. Blastoise and Gyarados are like the biggest ones, so they're the biggest piles. I think there might be a little bit of mis-sorting. Mostly their colours were pretty obvious, but there is some sort of beige on the front of Blastoise and also the kind of the underside of Gyarados as well, sort of a yellowy beige. So hopefully I've managed to find all those pieces. And that just leaves this pile here, which is Vaporeon. So there's quite a lot of Pokemon in this one, and I've got piles for each Pokemon and also the background and the edges. I just hope there isn't too much mis-sorting going on. I think if there's going to be any mis-sorting, it's going to be with this guy, Dugong. I actually think I'm going to start with the smaller ones like I usually do.
something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.
To the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.
I think we're better leave it there. I really hope you've enjoyed that. Maybe just under halfway through, so I don't think I need to do any off the camera stuff at this stage. We'll keep going with this next time. He was laid in my box of Pokemon pieces. He has sort of messed up my pieces a wee bit. I've got Blastoise and Dugong mixed up here. But that's okay. The rest is pretty much separate. I've only really got like 3 piles left. Last time, I started working on the water-type Pokemon, the blue section. I've not done Dugong. Dugong's slightly bigger, but not humongous. The big ones really are these two, Gyarados and Blastoise. I'm not going to start with Dugong because, even though he's a bit smaller, I think I've got a lot of wrong pieces in Dugong's pile. So I'm going to leave Dugong, and I'm going to work on Gyarados. And the reason I'm going to work on Gyarados and not Blastoise first is because he's a brighter blue. I just feel like the features on him are more obvious. I have actually got him partially built because I've got his mouth built. And I just think that Blastoise will have pieces from other Pokemon in, for example, Wartortle. Blastoise also has grey and brown from the guns and everything, so there's a bit more to him. So I'm gonna work on Gyarados just now.
We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay young forever, we'll never have regrets. We wanna chase
done Gyarados and I've done Blastoise as far as I can, and I've filled in as many background pieces as I can. Collected a whole lot of the brown section. Pokemon, one of the ones in there. I'm not sure where they go yet, or these. They might even go Pidgeot. I don't know. But yeah, and then so these are my dugong pieces. As I said, I think a few are missorted, but there are a good few that are correct. I can see blue background in them. So I've just got Dugong to do, but he's just one Pokemon. I'm wondering about maybe doing Dugong off the live.
Two hearts running wild. We're gonna be. We're gonna be. Two hearts running wild.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with
I am working on the brown section today. I've sorted the pieces, but during the sorting, I found some other pieces that belong to the other section. So what I thought I would do is just put them in. Here we go.
goes up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake.
These are my sorted piles for the brown section. There's quite a lot. It's quite a big section actually. The brown section is here and it goes all the way up the hill to here. Now, when I was sorting this, I didn't find it too bad. And actually, I already had a fairly decent pile of pieces for this particular Pokemon here, which I think is called Nidoqueen. And that is because this Pokemon's kind of blue, and I'd sorted it for the blue pile. This guy was quite easy to pick out. This pink one, it's kind of the only pink one in the rock type Pokemon section. Kind of a lot of them are varying shades of brown and grey, so that made it fairly obvious that it was this section. There is one yellow one. That was tricky. The rest I didn't find too bad. The pile for this guy here, this is called Onyx, really big. And I think there might be some overlap between him and this one here, which is called Rhydon. Quite a large background pile. These ones are pretty good. These are called Diglett. Onyx is this pile here. Then Rhydon is this pile here. This is Nidoqueen, which is that one. This one, Nidoking, that's this pile here. Diglett's over here. That's this little pile here. Then this one here, called Geodude. That's this pile here. This is Cubone here. And that's this pile here. I think it's called Sandslash. And their pile is here. This big pile here is background pieces. That pile there is the edge pieces. They're my sorted piles for the brown section.
Until I look away, but I've known you too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. As you fade away. too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
I've done as much of Sandslash as I can do, so that is where I'm going to end it for today.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Fly so high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Flying, get on board. We're smiling on top of the world. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. Flying, get on board. We're smiling on top of the world. Flying, get on board.
I'll do some organising off screen, get a bunch of pieces in, gap filled, until there's only onyx left. I've done his eyes at least. And then I'll do that next time, finish off brown, and then start yellow. What we've got in the brown section, really, apart from a few gaps, is just onyx to do. These are the pieces I have left, and these will largely be onyx, possibly some other gaps that I've missed. So this live is going to be focused on getting him finished, and then I will make a start on the yellow section, which is the section I'm going to do next. This is the yellow section. It's right above the brown. What I'm trying to do is start to put it into quarters on 4 boards. So that would be everything from here down would be on the bottom right board, and everything from there up would be on the top right board, which is what I would be building the yellow section on. I think we should just get on with onyx.
We're smiling on top of the
slate now for the yellows. Now, I was a little bit daunted by sorting the yellows because there's a lot of yellow Pokemon. Not all of them are in the yellow section. Some are. There's obviously a big bit of yellow background, but I knew there was going to be some confusion with the pink section because there's a lot of yellow Pokemon in the pink section. And the way I started to approach it, rather than focusing too much on picking out pieces that I knew went in the section, I focused mostly on pieces that I knew weren't. Any that had pink on or red, that were clearly pink or red section, I just eliminated straight away. So I focused on what was not yellow. The more I went through the pieces, the more I started to recognize pieces that did belong to Pokemon in the section. And another thing I noticed as well is that in the pink, a lot of the yellow Pokemon in here are kind of a darker yellow, almost like a mustard shade of yellow. This one here is a bright yellow, so I thought there might be a mix-up there. Largely, I was able to eliminate dull yellows as well, because there aren't really dull yellow Pokemon up here. The yellow Pokemon have other distinguishing features. So this one here, he's got this white ruff around his neck. And actually those pieces, there's kind of a purple hue to them. So they started to become obvious. And this guy, he's got black stripes. That's kind of obvious too. So it got easier as we went along. This pile here is this guy, Electabuzz. This pile here is Pikachu. This pile is this one, Magneton and Magnemite. This one here is Jolteon. Now, I think I might have some pieces in the Jolteon pile that actually belong to this one here. He also has a white ruff around his neck. That's Raichu, this guy here. These are background pieces. These are the edge pieces. Now, these two piles are a bit interchangeable, and I will probably work on them both at the same time. In fact, I might even start with these two. You've got this guy here, and you've got this one here. Now, this I think is Voltorb, and this is Electrode. I actually already had a lot of pieces separated for Electrode, because this light colour, it's actually kind of like a really light green, and I'd sorted out a bunch of pieces thinking they were dugong. They're very similar shade to each other. And the ones obviously that didn't go in dugong, I just kept to one side because I knew it belonged to this one. This pile is a bit of a miscellaneous pile, and it's really just bright yellows that may belong in here, but they may not. They may belong to some of the ones in here. So that's how I've sorted the yellows. There we have it. Yellow section started. It's not bad going, I think. And the brown section's done, more or less. Off camera, I did a little bit of filling in gaps on Electrode and Voltorb because I had a couple of gaps, especially in this kind of off-white area, and I did find a few, managed to fill in a few Voltorb, and I managed to fill in a couple of the gaps that were up here. And what I also did was I took away a chunk of the brown section and shifted it up to this board and attached the edge.
But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you can take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you.
I'll rummage through this miscellaneous pile, fill out any gaps I've got. I suspect it'll fill out a lot of this. Anything I've got left that doesn't fit in here will be part of the pink section, which I'll be doing next anyway.
Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
What I'm working on tonight is this one here, the pink/purple section, which is the psychic type Pokemon. This is a bottom corner section. It's quite a big section, and because it kind of crosses over onto the other half of the puzzle, I've got two boards here adjacent, and I've just positioned them so that we can fit the whole section in. But I've not attached the two sides of the puzzle here. Let me show you the pieces. So I've got two big boxes. This is probably the least detailed sort I've done across the sections. The overall sort was actually quite easy because I just had two sections, and it was pretty easy to know which was red section and which was pink. So initially all I did was just pink, red, pink, red, pink, red, pink, red, and I just separated them. And then when I'd done that, I got the pinks and I separated those within their own piles. However, there are a lot of the yellow. Now, I've already done most of the sections that have yellow Pokemon in, so I was fairly certain that any yellow I found was going to belong to this section. The reason it's not quite as organised as usual is because this Pokemon here, who is called Hypno, and then this one here is called Drowsy, and these two are the exact same shade of yellow. Then you've got this one here who's called Kadabra, and this one here who's called Alakazam, and they're the exact same shade as well. They're kind of more of a dark yellow, sort of mustard coloured yellow. And then this one's similar, but it's slightly different, so I should probably be able to differentiate that. But there's still a small one here. This is Abra. So what I have done is, these two Pokemon are all one pile of pieces, and that is this pile here. There is a small exception to that, and that is this pile and this pile also belong to those two Pokemon, but the only reason that they are separated is because I knew for a fact that one belongs to Drowsy, because Drowsy's right at the edge, so you could kind of tell where Drowsy was from, like, if there was a bit of edge in there. And then this one is Hypno, and Hypno had quite a lot of his little white collar. I've done the same with Abra and Kadabra and Alakazam. That is this pile of pieces. This is edges. There's just two pieces here. What I had here was a little pile of gap filler kind of pieces. And these ones are mostly white, if not all white pieces, that make up some of the wider parts of these dividing lines. So now I'll move on to this box. So this pile here, this is quite a big pile. This is Mewtwo. This big Pokemon here is Mewtwo. This one was really easy to pick out. Then up here, you've got the little mini Mewtwo. This is Mew, and that's this pile here. Then here, you've got Mr. Mime, and that's this guy here. And then that leaves this pile, which is mostly background. So that's it.
Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.
Gaps now are here, which is where Alakazam is. You've got Abra here at the bottom. Now, Abra is a different shade to Alakazam and Kadabra, who's down here beside Drowsy and Hypno. And they're my background pieces, so I'll probably just condense all this down into the one box. I'll do a little bit of sorting off the camera, just at least to get Abra separated, and possibly like the spoons or something.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be.
Basically got here are some leftovers and just mis-sorts. The last lot of sorting I do will be the red section, and I'd have to just separate out the different Pokemon. So there we have it. The pink section. Looking brill.
The best we ever had, and we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep.
The last section. How exciting is that? It is a big section. There are lots of Pokemon in here. And it wasn't that easy to sort. Even though it's the last section, there aren't going to be any missorts apart from the odd few pieces that I still have missing from other sections. Some of the colours are very similar, and it was difficult to distinguish some of them. I'll just dive in and go through the pieces that I have. All right, you're probably wondering why that there is an Animal Crossing tin in here. This is the tin I've been keeping my edge pieces in, and there are only red edge pieces left. So they're my edges. This is Charizard, and Charizard is this big Pokemon here. Then this pile here is Charmander. This is two Pokemon. This is Arcanine and Growlithe. They are very similar colours, and they were hard to distinguish, so I just chucked them all in the same pile. That pile there is red background. That's a little pile of pieces that I think go elsewhere that will fill in gaps in other sections of the puzzle. This pile here is a mixture of two Pokemon as well. It's this one here, which I think is called Ponyta, and also Ninetales, who is here. This pile here, this I think is mostly Flareon. This one here, that's Vulpix, and Vulpix is down here. This pile is Magmar, and Magmar's here. That one there is Charmeleon, and Charmeleon is this red one here in front of Ninetales. And then that is background and also the white bits that separate the sections.
As we shot from the top, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose.
Here we have progress so far on the red section, so I wouldn't say I'm halfway through it yet. It's a big section, this. I think Charizard might be a good bet to do next. I'm sure that piece is probably in Charizard somewhere. And then Ninetales and Ponyta.
You too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Like nothing I felt, my mind overwhelms. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel far more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Here it is. I did my best, but I've not been able to finish it this time, but that's okay. I didn't honestly expect to finish it this time. All I've got to do now is this big one here and this little one here.
I know you told your strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Only gap filling to do.
Hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left
In
is
the puzzle, I have some gaps in the sections that I haven't filled in yet, and these pieces will fill those gaps. The only section that's complete, or two sections actually, are yellow and green. I've managed to fill up the gaps as I've done the puzzle. Oh, and red is now. Red's complete now. I have some gaps in blue, I have some in grey, I have some in brown, and I think I have one in pink.
chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
It's all done. The 5,000 piece Pokemon Allstars puzzle, done over the course of 14 live streams, with the 15th being the whole thing together. And all 5,000 pieces are present and correct.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things
Come in. Do you want to christen the puzzle, Grace? Come and have a look. There we are. It just wouldn't be the same, would it, without the cat rolling about on it? I've not been letting him in because of the Piatnik, but it's completely covered by this now. He loves a good roll on the puzzles. He really does. Yeah, Grace approved. It's cat blessed. That's right.
there are the things I want to know. Secrets die in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now,
It's just such a fun puzzle. I love this. No missing pieces, thankfully. Can answer some questions. Will you tape it and hang it up? So yes, I will tape it. Whether I'll hang it up, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know quite where I'd put it yet, if I did. but I'm definitely taping this. I love this puzzle. It was so much fun to build, so much fun. Your favourite part of the puzzle? That is hard. I think I don't know. Because I enjoyed all of it. I think my least favourite part was the grey section, even though I really do like the Pokemon in that section. That was the part I found the hardest. My favourite section, I think I'm gonna have to say, build-wise, the yellow section, the electric types over there. I just found that came together really smoothly and quite easily. I thought red was tricky, but the fact that I did it last made a difference on that one. And it was really satisfying filling in the last pieces. Really satisfying. Do you think you would do this one again? If you tape it, will you be able to do the puzzle again, or does that ruin it? Having taken tape off a puzzle now, you can do them again. It takes a thin layer off the back, but it doesn't render them, unpuzzleable, if that's a word. So yeah, you can if I tape it, but I doubt I will do it again. I don't know, I've just got too many other puzzles to do, so many cool puzzles, and I'll happily kind of submit this one to the finished pile and move on to the next one. So it's doubtful, but I mean, if I really, really, really wanted to, I suppose I could take the tape off, but I probably won't. I hope that you all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey and just supporting and chatting and just it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. I've loved it. We'll keep doing more. It worked. The experiment worked. Large piece counts can be live streamed. Next up, the Novel Avenue, 2,000 pieces. I am going to head off just now because I'm a little bit worried about the destruction this cat might wreak in my puzzle room. I'll say goodbye to you just now. Thank you again so much, everyone, for being here, for joining along, watching, support, just everything. Puzzling along too, for those of you who did this puzzle with me. That's been so great. I know some of you are just starting it. Keep posting your updates in the Discord. I can't wait to see. I'm going to put loads of photos of this up. Just thank you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Yes, I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you could take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on. And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this